Todd, what have been some defining moments in your career and life, would you say?
Well, that's how many hours do we have to talk about this?
Can go as long as you want.
I guess there have been several that I look back on and think my life would have been completely different had this not occurred, right? And so growing up, I won't tell the sob story that, you hear from a lot of plaintiffs' lawyers about how they were dirt poor and blah, 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 blah. But, the way I grew up was very difficult in some emotional ways. And thankfully, early in my teen years, I found a family that really kind of took me in and introduced me to the local church. And that became a very important part of my life. And it absolutely has defined who I am. My path really in high school was I was going to be a Southern Baptist preacher. That's what I was going to be. And you could not have convinced me that I would have turned out to be anything other than that. And so through that, though, I developed a real passion for people and helping people. And that was really my focus and was always my focus was, here this family took me in. I want to be able to give back. I want to make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
And just through, life events, I ended up in law school. And when I got out of law school, it was, I've got to find a way to use this to benefit people.
Yeah.
And so I was fortunate enough to find some good firms over the years to where I could try cases. I could make a difference in people's lives. I had some, pretty remarkable cases that I was able to work on, cases I was able to settle. Probably 10, 12 years ago now, I had one of those career defining moments where I represented these 3 kids whose mother had been hit and killed by a train. And it was a circumstance where the train company had showed up on site within 10 minutes of the accident, had found some witnesses to say that certain things had or had not happened, which ended up not being true at all. And so, through that litigation, we were able to put life-changing money into the hands of these 3 children that had lost their mother, had been, dirt poor, sleeping in the same clothes that they went to school in for weeks on end, that kind of lifestyle, to the last time I checked in on them, one of them has now graduated from college. The other 2 are flourishing where they're at. And so, that's not a case. We were able to resolve that case without trial. So it wasn't a huge media spectacle, but
Right.
the way it changed those kids' lives was defining for me.
Right.
In being able to make that kind of change.
Right.
And so that, I always kind of hold that out as one of the moments. We've already touched on it, and he'll probably get frustrated with me saying it, but I honestly mark one of the life-changing moments of my life in meeting and developing this relationship with David. And I've said this privately, it's, the last 6 years of practicing law has been extremely enjoyable because I get to work with my best friend.
Right.
And so it's life-changing, it's defining. The way I do things is different now. The way I think about cases, the way I approach cases is different. And it's because of that relationship. So not to sound corny, but that is one of those moments.